You're listening to the Betoota Advocate's weekly news wrap on Desert Rock FM 96.5.
G'day, my name's Bruce Hitchcock, and you're listening to the weekly Betoota News Bulletin. Sitting alongside me is Wendell Hussey, and this week we're coming to you from down south, from the congestion capital of the country, Sydney.
That's right, we're down here in Sydney because the Betoota Advocate Roadshow is winding up down here. We've only got 2 stops left now, Canberra and Sydney, so make sure you grab tickets if you haven't done so already.
Now, it's been another big few days of news, Del, so let's get into it. Kicking things off with the national news, and the Prime Minister has moved to assure voters that everything is fine with the government.
That's right, Bruce, he has. Scott Morrison, the 3rd Prime Minister in 4 years, told us that a landslide election loss in Victoria is absolutely nothing to worry about. This comes after Labor annihilated the Liberals in the Victorian election this weekend, serving as an indicator of how things could end up next year in the federal election. However, rather than panic and admit that something may be up, the Prime Minister said the Victorian election is simply a one-off, and like the Wentworth by-election, it's not at all indicative of how the rest of the country will vote in a couple of months. He said to us,
It's simple. The Victorian people are out of touch with the rest of Australia. This government is 100% true blue in the fair dinkum department and as dinky-die as a bunch of Anzacs playing Aussie rules on the shores of Gallipoli after defeating the Turks. There is nothing to worry about. We've got this.
Well, there you go. Business as usual.
That's right, nothing to see there. And on the international scene, Bruce, we've gotten to the bottom of the recent death of an American missionary on North Sentinel Island.
We have indeed. The Betoota Advocate exclusively revealed this week that the young man was killed by the Sentinelese after trying to preach the benefits of CrossFit to the isolated tribe. The people of the remote island that has absolutely no contact with the outside world filled the preacher with arrows as he came bearing CrossFit pamphlets and reportedly tried to convert them to the cult fitness ideology. The Sentinelese were suspicious at the outset and then shot him after he refused to stop going on about the benefits of high-intensity interval training. It is not known when or if his body will be retrieved.
A sad end for the young CrossFitter. And Bruce, back home in Betoota, we broke an exclusive story about a young woman easing her conscience this week. The local secondary school teacher spoke to us about how she justified doing nothing with her day off by calling it life admin. Jola Cameron explained that she began to feel a little remorseful about having done fuck all with her day. However, rather than paying attention to the head noise, she justified the wasted hours as life admin. She explained that putting on a load of washing, doing a couple of things on the computer, and paying a random bill from ages ago is all you have to do to be able to write off a day.
And elsewhere around town this week, we covered the plight of the mature-age uni student. The 48-year-old mature-aged online CQ university student was left devastated by his inability to interrupt a lecturer mid-sentence. After the lecturer didn't stop when the ageing man raised an interesting point about the workforce and how a scenario that he'd once dealt with was relevant to a certain aspect of tort law, the patriarch began to blow up. Reaching fever pitch after receiving no response to his continued interjections, the semi-retired Silver Fox said he realised that no one could actually hear him. He explained his disappointment to us upon that realisation.
What's the point of me even signing up for this class then, hey? I've got a whole lifetime of experience at my accounting firm, and these young kids could learn a bloody thing or two from me. But anyway.
And on the sporting front, the Parramatta Eels are under fire again. The beleaguered cellar-dwelling club from the western suburbs has been found responsible for causing the recent dust storm that shut down the city of Sydney. While meteorologists originally thought the dust storm may have come from the western region of the state, the Betoota Advocate exclusively revealed that the blanket of dust actually came from the Parramatta Eels trophy cabinet. The storm that swept over the city was caused by the club that hasn't won anything for a very long time, opening the cabinet to remove some random Jared Hayne memorabilia from a few years ago. The club did apologise for any inconvenience caused by the dust storm and also warned that the St Kilda and Melbourne AFL clubs should be aware of a similar scenario unfolding if they were ever to open their own trophy cabinets.
Well, that's good advice from the Eels. Anyway, that's it for the news wrap this week. Thanks for tuning in.
Don't forget to grab tickets to the Betoota Advocate Roadshow if you haven't done so already.
And don't forget to subscribe to the podcast in order to get your weekly fix of real, unfiltered, and unwavering regional news. Until next time, I'm Bruce Hitchcock.
And I'm Wendell Hussey.